I like watching the New York jewelry and watch dealers.
Okay.
Dude, you can go in a freaking Instagram black hole just swiping, watching these guys hustle watches, Rolexes and stuff. I'm not a jewelry guy. I don't own watches or any of that. No, nothing against it. I just don't. But I like watching these guys do what they do, man. It's fascinating. There's so many like intricate details that makes a watch $10,000 or $20,000. And to watch them flip it in moments, it's crazy. Well, there is a jewelry shop out in New York, and this guy was approached by a comic fan, a collector, maybe as a dealer. And the suggestion was, let's do a trade for jewelry. But he didn't know what he was looking at. So he kind of kicked it to the community and said, hey, help me price these. So, I mean, it's the Bags and Boards show. We might as well do it.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Let's help this guy out.
All right, we got Trax NYC Diamond Jeweler over on everywhere. The dude's everywhere. Let's take a look at the comics that are being brought into his shop for a trade.
So you got a lot of comic books,
Bro, I have some super high-end bangers.
Wow.
Okay, hold up. That was a gold foil Venom Lethal Protector.
Bro, I have some super high.
That's
Oh,
gold.
on the back. Oh, okay. So was it the back of the cover then?
So yeah, he shows the back cover to the camera, but I can see it right here. That's the gold foil.
He doesn't even know what side to look at. He's looking at
This
the
is why he
back.
needs our help, dude. First off, flip it to the front. The grade point is on the front.
First off, flip the whole box around.
That's true.
High-end bangers.
Wow. What do you
All right, so we definitely can't see the grade on that one, but let's put that one as a footnote here. Maybe we can go
Okay.
back to it.
want to do with these? You want to trade them?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a sexy book. We have First Appearance of Punisher, Frank Castle. Now, it looks like there's more than one SIG on here, but I can clearly see Stan Lee's signature, and that's actually going to be the biggest difference here. I could see a premium $500 to $1,000 because of that, and I happen to have Punisher's recent sales on my screen right now. 6.5 went for $1,500. I can see this going for $200 to $2,500. What about you?
yeah. I don't think that. I think that's fair and in the realm of where it would go. 2,500 probably is where I would put it.
For something?
I would love to trade them for something.
For what?
I would love to trade them for 2 chains that you have.
Why don't you sell them yourself and then just buy the chain?
Because I saw your whole office has a whole bunch of super high-end art.
Right.
And I figured this is a huge asset class that you might be into as well.
Yes. Well, the first appearance of Venom.
Oh,
All right.
let's talk about this guy as a salesman first.
Sure.
Okay, like he's like, first off, the guy Trax looking at the comics is like, well, why didn't you just sell these and give me cash for them?
Smart. It's a good
Right?
question.
That is a great question, right? And that's what he should be asking. And the guy quickly comes back with, well, to help you manage maybe an asset class you're not as familiar with, and maybe you want to open up to, or I see that you have other rare collectibles, like it's both. 2 equal forces. We're going to see what's going to happen here.
All right, so I'm looking at a CGC. Looks like signed by Stan Lee as well. ASM 300 graded at a 9.6. Let's take a look. Because I also have ASM 300 numbers on the screen from the recent Hot 10. I can cheat a little bit and not have to pull up GPA. The prices are here. So 9.6 went for $846. Last sale over this last week. CGC Signature Series Premium with the Stan Lee SIG. Let's take a look.
This has to be a common enough book signed by Stan Lee. Same with ASM 129.
All right, so we're looking at a 9.6 JSA authenticated. So that's what the Stan Lee SIG on there. Sold in March for $1,800. Recent 9.6 sale went for $846. It's kind of that $1,000 premium for that SIG.
And if you're not familiar with JSA is authentication. It isn't actually witnessed like the regular yellow label that we've seen on these last couple books.
But we haven't seen a solo Stan Lee Signature Series 9.6 sell since 2014. People like to keep these in their collection. But it's interesting. He's being presented a lot of signed books, which creates a lot of nuance. We'll see if we can help steer him in the right direction.
Appearance of Venom.
What year?
1988, I'm sorry.
1988 with
Oh, there's more than one SIG on there. Oh, that's a McFarlane SIG on there too. You see the green? It's kind of a cool book, actually.
Yeah, there's lots going on here.
Yeah, there's more than one SIG on there. So there could be this, added inflation for having more than one SIG. I mean, certainly that Stan Lee's going to up the cost, but when you get McFarlane's signature on there in addition, yeah, you're adding hundreds of dollars, if not more.
Venom was created the first time.
by Todd McFarlane and Stan Lee.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
so he wants something like this. You want this Venom joint?
Ah, damn, that's
you've
dope.
seen this,
No,
right?
but you can pick that up at Tracks NYC for sure.
Sure. Listen,
He's like, I do not want a Venom chain. He has
That's a
his
good
eye on
question.
something specific.
That's a good question because he's dropping off all this Venom, right?
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, he just wants to wear it instead of store it.
we'd like to make a deal for the man. Someone watching this has to buy these. Comment and tell me what they're worth.
Ooh, look at that, dude. Now that's a cool book.
That is a prize,
That's
right there.
the Black Arrow, right?
Yeah, and a
Venom
9.8.
Lethal Protector. All right, so for our audio listeners, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. We're looking at a 9.8 Arrow edition of Venom Lethal Protector. Now, this book came out, sold a ton of copies. Standard 9.8, you're looking at like $100. This is very special. It is signed by Stan. It's signed by Todd freaking McFarlane, and it's a 9.8. And this is a horrendously rare book. This is not a book you can find. You got to know someone to get it.
This is almost a 10K book without signatures.
Let's take a look.
That's an awesome.
I was not expecting to see that book, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Like 2 SIGs on there and a 9.8. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so take a look at this. 9.8. Recent sale for Venom Lethal Protector. $100 90-day average. Oh! Your boy's good is what I'm saying.
Last sale was $76.
Yeah, but that's an auction. But take a look at this.
Damn.
9.8 black cover error print. Last sale, no SIGs, $9,500. So when you add those 2 SIGs in there, dude, Stan Lee SIG on a 9.8, you could convince me that someone would pay $20,000 for that book. Because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know how many are in 9.8 that are black errors and signed by one. And that was a witness signature, right? Those weren't JSAs. I mean,
That's a crazy book. Okay, we'll put a pin in this one. Let's keep watching.
Venom 1 Lethal Protector Black, signed by Stan Lee, Sam De La Rosa, Todd McFarlane in a 9.8.
Wow.
Someone chime in and tell him what the value of this book is.
And we'll see if we can make a deal and make it happen.
Okay, so
I want that book.
first off, the first 2 books we saw are dope as hell. But for a shop that largely sells jewelry and watches and things like that, I don't think the SIGs are going to help you. You probably are going to have this like inflated cost, the real estate to have this on your wall with other artwork. And that inflation price is going to make it really tough to move. Like, yeah, it's cool you have a sign by Todd McFarlane, but I think the average person who's going to do a just, gut purchase of a book, it's probably going to be closer to that 9.8 standard pricing. Having to pay an extra $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000 for a SIG, it's just unlikely to happen outside of an LCS. And they're looking to trade at a non-LCS. So I would say if you're looking to get those 2 books, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I would price them at Blue Label pricing and do the trade across the board. And I know that's not going to be in favor of the seller, but because he has a jewelry shop, I would price them according to what Blue Labels are in which what we had just quoted.
Well, then you got to think about too, because he wants to make money and just taking 1 or 2 items and dividing them into, I don't know what he's trying to buy, but potentially an entire short box of slabs. Like, do I do that? If I have a $50,000 comic and you bring me an entire short box of slabs, I now have to sell 25 books in order to get 1 sale, right?
Yeah, so whatever that price is, now you have to do the dealer discount for this. Like you got to get a better side of the trade because otherwise he would sell it for cash.
Yeah, because like we mentioned earlier, these 2 guys are like 2 people like negotiating, right? He's like, oh, upsell, oh, downsell. So it's the same thing, right? He's like, if I'm like trying to bring these books here and I want to buy them, I don't know the value of signatures. Even me in the hobby, I don't know how to price it. It's hard enough to sell certain books. Now, that Black Label, I think, would go.
Well, I'm talking about the first 2 books first.
Okay, so
we'll
the
get
first
to
2
that
books.
Black Label.
We know
that's
we
a
could
totally
sell.
different
We
thing.
know we can sell them all blue. No problem, right? But like you said, signature. That's me convincing somebody that they need to pay more, and this is how much more. Okay, like can I convince somebody to buy an ASM 129 signed by multiple people for $1,000 more? Like, would you pay? Like, if you had a Stanley 9.6 and it's, I don't know, let's just say it's $2,000, Would you pay $3,000 for a Stanley signed?
It's really hard to judge.
$4,000? Like, where do you just cut the line? You're like, that just sounds crazy.
But then also, you're looking for someone who wants this book signed, which is drastically less. And it's already a small amount of people who want the book anyways. I mean, a lot of people aren't spending this much money on comics.
Right. And you got to find the person who likes signatures and wants to pay extra for it.
In the jewelry district in New York.
In the jewelry district in New York.
But that 9.8 Stan Lee, Todd McFarlane, Sam De La Rosa signed Error Black Venom Lethal Protector. Dude, if that hit Heritage Auctions, would you be surprised if someone paid $25,000 for that book?
I would on Heritage because they're not the best with modern.
But would you be surprised if someone paid $25K for that book?
25 sounds too much for me. Now, 20?
20 is what I said earlier.
Yeah,
I think 20 is probably
20.
safe.
20, I was like, okay, 20 makes potential sense to somebody. But again, if I say 20 makes sense to somebody, then you're like, good 25 makes sense to somebody. Possibly. You got a lot of crazy people with money.
But what I will say is of the 3 books we saw first Punisher, we saw first Venom, and we saw Solo Series modern book that was printed to the hundreds of thousands, but the Error edition, and that Error edition is way cooler than those prior to, in my opinion.
Oh, easy.
10 times over.
And that gold one is badass. I mean, he does deal with gold. You would think he'd like, oh, this is gold. Maybe that works better in a shop, right?
That Black Error variant, that would get someone to go to your shop to see it, to try to make a deal. It's so rare. Where the other ones, people can just go on eBay and, shop one without a signature. So, my brother Trax, put those 2 other aside and do a deal on that Black Error variant, and then remember who told you.
I wish I knew what other books were in there.
And I'm pretty excited. Maybe he'll actually do more videos. I love seeing comics at like non-comic channels,
Yeah. I don't think he does the deal. He's going to want it for like, what do you think he's going to want it for? 50%?
Probably. I mean, it's in trade.
Yeah. I mean, gold's got easy street value. You know what gold is worth just by weight.
Right.
All right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Give us a follow-up video.
They asked for pricing and what it's worth. They didn't ask what he should do the deal with.
That's a good point.